So I wanted to talk about the communication styles and how they can lead to either resolving or adding on to that. So this is also an article from another university. And I'm going to just quickly give a summary, or, if you guys are really interested into the whole article and stuff, there are four different types of communication style according to this article. I'm sure there are more, or maybe there's people who are adding on to that. So there's passive communication, which says often looks like not communicating at all for fear of speaking up. That definitely could be people pleasing. And this could lead to misunderstandings. Aggressive communication, which is what I said. I think that's what people may think about conflict resolution, tends to be driven by anger and judgment and can also result in inflexibility. This can create a hostile environment. Passive aggressive might mean you don't directly communicate your feelings, but you hold on to negative feelings and let those affect your actions. I am very much guilty of this. I hope I don't come off super braggadocious or arrogant as I'm talking about the importance of communication, but I still do believe that two things could be true at the same time. I do believe that you can be passionate about communicating anything and still have areas of improvement. And this is my area of improvement because I do consider myself a very self-aware person. And then the last one is assertive, which I also do believe that I have as well, is confident, but also respectful of others' thoughts and feelings. Assertive communication creates space for honest conversation and promotes healthy connections between individuals. Pardon me.
So what's the communication style when you don't feel some type of way? Because like even for
Maybe
three and
assertive.
four, maybe because might mean you don't directly communicate your feelings, but you hold on to negative emotions. But what if I think my things I noticed in my life, like some people say, "Oh, Edward, you don't feel no type of way about that." I said no, and then it's like, "Oh, do you not have feelings or not?" I'm like, I just don't feel some type of way about it. It's kind of like I'm numb to the situation when things, yeah, like, yeah, I'm trying to think of examples, and maybe it's not coming to mind right now.
I'm not ever sure of a time where passive aggressive is a good thing. Maybe your threshold for what people normally would be angry or annoyed about is quite high. I remember a time that when we had our season 3 episode 1 where we are actually in person and you had some hiccups with airlines, airports, and things like that. And I think I asked a similar question, like how did you remain so calm? And you were like, well, it's out of my situation, so there's not much I can do about that. To me, I felt like I was applauding you because I know if something had happened to me like that, I would be very annoyed. And I would
So
be
what
like,
communication style is that then? Is that assertive? Whereas like
but that's not a
I
conflict resolution. So I don't know if that applies. You get what I'm saying? But I'm saying that to say when people are like, well, how come you're not bothered by it? That's what I was relating that to. Like maybe your threshold for how you handle your situations doesn't always involve emotional reaction, but you're responding to the information, which now makes you solution based, which I still think, like I said, I notice those characteristics in men more often than I do in women. I think I am like that with my friendships. I have said this before, but within my friendships, I have not had many arguments with them. It could have a lot to do with the fact that I do not believe that I am a like argumentative person. I don't believe that I am having a hard time in letting someone know all the time how I feel. And sometimes because I always check myself to make sure that I don't overreact, it's not every single feeling that I will bring up to a friend. Sometimes I'll sit back and be like, okay, well, maybe I'm the one that's overreacting and let me just sit with it. I do believe that it can cause confusion and resentment. Like I said, I did admit to the passive aggressiveness, but I also believe that I can be assertive at the same time. So I think you were asking a question about how
No, it
to.
makes sense. It
Mhm.
makes sense. I do think I'm probably a four in that way as well because I am confident and I always do think about other people's thoughts and feelings, and I don't let that deter me. And once again, maybe because I'm very logical in most situations. So, like you said, the Vegas incident where I couldn't, I had bad travel, it was a lot to get back and forth, but I didn't let that ruin my day. And so, but once again, that
Right.
wasn't a conflict resolution. But when we do have conflict resolutions, I do try to create, hey, I'm always a person to say, hey, let's talk about it. And some people like it, some people don't, because some people like, oh, I'm not ready to talk about it, and they have to wait until they're ready to talk about it, which is kind of a
That is
waiting game.
actually a good point because maybe the question also bears like, how long do you have to wait to resolve a conflict? And I know you.
I'm
Yep,
sure
I
I'm
know
quick.
you.
I'm quick. Some people are days, some people are weeks, and hopefully no one's months and years because all right, now this is a little heavy. But yeah, I mean that's a good question. Some people do need a day or two in space, and once again, I don't. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just understanding that individual, especially if it's a friend or romantic context, and giving to them and try your best not to take it personal.